We must respect the will of the individual. Take it easy. I can assure you that everything will turn out fine. Let go of your negative outlook on life. Always maintain a positive attitude. You should be fair to everyone, regardless of national origin, gender, or creed. Equality is guaranteed by the Constitution. He leaned against the pillar and gazed at the Statue of Liberty. A woman passed by me, giving off a subtle scent of perfume. It reminded me of my ex-girlfriend. Natto smells awful, but tastes terrific. I'm soaked with sweat. Stand back, you stink. Take a shower. Bob was so beside himself that he could scarcely tell fact from fiction. His new novel, which combines prose with his gift for poetry, is going to be published. An up-to-date edition of the encyclopedia will come out next month. Miss Yamada translated the fascinating fairy tale into plain Japanese. The following passage is quoted from a well-known fable. Are you familiar with contemporary literature? I know next to nothing about it. At times, I confuse curve with curb. Don't be shy, your pronunciation is more or less correct. This article contains tips for those who are eager to increase their vocabulary. His latest works are on display at the City Hall. They are fabulous beyond description. Could you move over a little? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was taking up so much space. What's this ugly object? This is a piece of abstract art. I begged Richie to lend me $100, but he shook his head, saying I'm broke too. I'm apt to buy things on impulse whenever something is on sale, so am I. As it is, ordinary people cannot afford to purchase such luxuries. As we anticipated, the unemployment rate had raised 3 quarters in a row. I have to cut down on my expenses, so from now on, I'm going to keep track of them on a daily basis. In any case, the union has to compromise to a certain extent. Competent mechanics are in great demand, so they earn decent wages. The president announced a concrete plan to carry out welfare reform. His policy will no doubt lead to dismal consequences. It needs a thorough review. It goes without saying that the aging society is inevitable. Please take a look at this chart. It indicates that juvenile delinquency is on the increase at an alarming rate. In many business districts, there are a lot of vacant lots which have been for sale for years. The population density in the metropolis is gradually decreasing. In all likelihood, the birth rate will continue to decline steadily for years to come. The power plant supplies the remote county with electricity. We are not allowed to operate this device without permission. In fact, the inhabitants have been exposed to radiation. One cannot emphasize too much the potential danger of nuclear energy. For years, the press overlooked the problem, but now, if anything, they are making too much of it. As well as cultivating grain, the farmer runs the grocery store. The research institute was established in the late 1960s. Why don't you consult Starr in person? He's by far the most prominent attorney around here. I write it down just in case, because I have a bad memory. The lawyer recommended that his client take legal action against the insurance company. They are entitled to be compensated for their injuries. So far, no less than 200 people have died of the flu epidemic. The effect of those pills is intense but brief. He has a habit of biting his nail. It's absolutely disgusting. My grandma strained her back when she bent down to hug my son. If you have a stiff neck, try an herbal remedy. Medical breakthroughs have brought about great benefits for humanity as a whole. We can't apply cloning techniques to cattle, let alone human beings. It's forbidden. Whales are classified as mammals. The theory of evolution is beyond the reach of my imagination. The biologist is proud of his historic discovery and doesn't mind boasting about it. On ethical grounds, they are opposed to so-called gene therapy. The initial symptoms of the disease are fever and a sore throat. The structure of the brain is complex. Owing to illness, some representatives were absent from the annual conference. Little by little, my son-in-law is recovering from stomach cancer, and now he is in good spirit. This is a fake, isn't it? Hey, it's a genuine antique. No way. Anything else? That's it? Oh, here or to go? To go. How much is this rug? $100 including tax. Okay, I'll take it. I don't think those pants look good on you. Try these on. They're really in now. He got out of the cab in haste saying, "Keep the change." Delivery service is available to our customer for a slight extra charge. It's on me. No, you treat me every time we eat out. Well, okay, let's split the check then. While I was hanging out at the mall, I ran into Ken. I was short of cash, so I withdrew the $100 that I had deposited in my bank account last week. On her way home, she was robbed of her purse. That's odd. Tell me how it happened. I'll explain it to you later. My parents gave me a 6 p.m. curfew as a punishment because I broke my promise. As proverb quotes, the end justifies the means. Now that I've found that there's no one to turn to, I'll have to stand on my own 2 feet. The chairman cut me off, saying, "Time to wind things up. Let's take a vote." We exchanged frank opinions in the meeting, but consensus is yet to be reached regarding this matter. Do you agree or disagree with him? I'm on his side. Strictly speaking, his view differs somewhat from mine. Could you go by it again? I couldn't make out what you were getting at. No one backed me up at first, but eventually I talked everyone into going along with my plan. I admire your perseverance, courage, and wisdom. You flatter me. In making a decision, I rely not on logic, but on instinct. He came up with an ingenious, sensible solution and immediately put it into practice. From an objective viewpoint, the former is inferior to the latter. Your ideas sound marvelous in theory, Yet I don't think it will work in practice. We expected him to defeat his opponent, but he failed to live up to our expectations. Ironically, despite their best endeavors, their mission resulted in complete failure. Her genius makes up for her lack of first-hand experience. She possesses a great capacity for overcoming any obstacle. Without your solid support, the deal would have fallen through. I'm grateful to you. Bringing flammable items into the cabin is prohibited. Our flight to Vienna was delayed on account of a minor accident. The plane blew up and plunged into the ocean, killing all the people on board. They are working around the clock looking into the cause of the crash. Unfortunately, few passengers survived the catastrophe. The aviation expert analyzed the statistics in details. On behalf of all the staff, I'd like to express our sympathy for the victims. In a sense, he is to blame for the disaster. The vehicles are inspected for defects every 3 months. I was amazed to see that our utility bills came to so much. Turn the faucet off, man yelled in a rage. Tighten the lid so the food doesn't go bad. Can I borrow your scissors? Sure, here you are. You can substitute some transparent glue for a needle and thread. I dyed this fabric and it shrunk. I am getting rid of this leather jacket because it's worn out at the elbow. Add some flour to the mixture and stir it until it became thick. What should we do with the leftovers? Keep them in the fridge for now. I heat them in the microwave later. I could have laid out all that money on a new PC, but on second thought, I decided to put some aside for a rainy day. A cell phone has become something of a necessity, and I can't do without one. No sooner had I sat back and relaxed than my wife asked me to do the chores. She laid the baby down and lay down beside him. Put this stuff away, it's in the way. When the kids made believe they were dinosaurs, they were scolded by their mother. After he bumped into the shelf, the priceless china fell and shattered into fragments. Can you keep an eye on my kids for a while? I need to pick up Ken. No problem. Our neighbor told us off for making a mess in his yard. Dory resembles her big sister in every way. You can't tell them apart. As a rule, twins have a lot in common. I'm tired of doing the dish, doing the laundry, and so on. My favorite pastime is strolling along the shore. It's pleasant. I'm exhausted. Let's take a break in the shade. Why not? Bob, this vending machine is out of order. Oh no, I'm dying of thirst. He fainted with hunger and fatigue, but came to after a while.